Ninja Double Stack XL Air Fryer. I've reviewed every Ninja air fryer out there. I have tons of videos here on Amazon about them, but this one's got things that none of those have, but this one also has a con that none of them has as well. So let's talk about it right now. First and foremost, out of the box, it looks like this. There's no installation, there's no things you gotta put together. The racks are inside, of course, with a little bit of cardboard. You gotta clean these out and wash them. This machine's much taller than any other Ninja air fryer. Keep that in mind. I mean, that's 9 inches right there from pinky to thumb, and then pinky to thumb. So you're looking about roughly 16 inches tall, roughly. You probably can see the specs on Amazon or on the web. They give you more exact. You have a little dial that sticks out here, so you aren't completely the same width here. So it's about roughly 7 inches wide, 8 inches wide. But you do have this little dial that sticks out. I wish this could fold back. That'd be kind of a cool feature, so you have more countertop space. That actually adds a lot of bulk to the overall width. Vents in the back, and you have vents on this side as well, but you don't have any vents on this side. So plan accordingly how you're gonna set this up in your kitchen. Multiple layers in here with the stacking racks. You can have, say, green beans on the bottom and potatoes on top in one basket, and you can have a whole 5-pound chicken in the other. And on that note, I'll be cooking a 5-pound chicken in this thing in another review here on Amazon. You might see it on the same carousel. Go check it out, and I'll show you how to cook a whole chicken and veggies in this. We're gonna be doing that. But this is an initial review. I wanna tell you the pros and cons that I can see right out of the gate. I do have 10 quarts of capacity. I like the handles, very robust, very large. So right now you might be noticing something that's different than any other Ninja air fryer on the market right now. Yeah, it's the vents in the back side of this container. I think this might be a con. Yes, they're having vents in the back because you have your heating element and fan in the back, because they want air blowing over this in a uniform way so everything cooks evenly, top and bottom. And on the top one, they have the same thing, is they have another heating coil and another fan. Now that makes sense, but imagine having an entire 5-pound chicken in here, which is gonna take up this entire basin, that big old bad boy right there, that's 5 pounds. But that chicken starts splattering. You might take this out and notice your coil and fan and everything back there is covered in junk. It might be a cleaning disaster. So we're gonna talk about that here in a second, and I will see, and I will confirm that potential con at the end of this video. You do have a little chart up here, a little cheat sheet, but also it does come with a cooking book that shows you a bunch of temperatures and how to cook things. That way, if you're a novice cooker, you still can learn how to cook using this machine and knowing temperature settings. That way, if you ever have to use an actual oven, you can do the same thing in there. So power on, we have different settings on here. It says hello, very polite, that's nice. Just like the dual cook horizontal version of the Ninja air fryer, this has dual zone. You have zone 1 up here, zone 2 down here, and then you have different settings you can program for each one. So when you set 1, you can say air fry, you can air broil, you can bake, you can roast, you can reheat, you can dehydrate. Now what all those do, okay, all those do, air fry will set it to 390, so a little bit bigger than 350, a little bit more crispy. Air broil will be 450 for a lot of crispiness. Bake, 350. Dehydrate will probably be 150. Yep, 150, but for 6 hours. So don't get confused with these settings that it can cook all the things for you without you touching anything. This is just a pre-programmed heat and time that is correspondent to the title. But you can always change that. So if you wanted to, say, do a air fry, but you want it at 400, you can take your temperature setting and you hit temp, and you can raise that up to 400. Do air broil, and 450 shows up. So air broil allows you to have 450. You can't turn it to 450 any other way but by using air broil. So it gives you a very max crisp way of doing things. Some of these settings allow you to go lower in temperature, and some of the settings let you go higher in temperature. You got to play around to find out your ideal setting. Match cook, if you hit match cook, that will make the zone 1 and zone 2 identical. Nothing will be different. They'll have the same time and temp. Now if you do smart finish, if you had, say, a chicken down here like I'm about to do, and veggies up here, and the veggies are gonna take roughly 30 to 40 minutes, but the chicken might take an hour, when the chicken hits 45 minutes, the veggies will kick in. That way they both finish at the exact same times. And this will fit in here just like that. There's little nodules that it sits on to keep it off the bottom tray. That way you have some separation. You have about that much separation between each level. So you can put a decent amount of green beans or veggies or whatever you want in there, and then you can put Brussels sprouts or potatoes on top, and there's a gap of about that much from this base to the top compared to the same gap from the base to the bottom of this tray, and that allows you to have a crisping layer between 2 different types of food. But remember, the flavor or whatever you have on the top food is going to drip onto the bottom food, so make sure they're complementary or else you're going to ruin your meal. I'll state this is one of my biggest complaints in the past with the Ninja air fryers is these little rubber pieces that go all the way around. You can't take those off, and if you do, it's kind of a pain in the butt to put back on with them without them completely failing. It just adds for a kind of a complicated cleaning process because you can't really get underneath those rubber gaskets very well to clean out all the junk. So I highly recommend throwing this in your dishwasher or an extremely hot water basin. That way it cleans out all the junk underneath those rubber fittings. That was my only complaint with cleaning any other air fryer from Ninja, and it looks like they're using the same setup here, just different shape. So keep that in mind. A little bit of a finicky cleanup section there, but not too big of a deal. The vents on the side, that's for the zone 2, this is for zone 1. That's what's blowing out the heat. So you don't want to have this too close to a wall, keep that in mind. And then on the back, it's pulling air in, I believe, yeah. Sucking air in to the fans. But the size of the unit, even at, 375 degrees, you can put your hand on it. It's warm, you definitely feel the heat, but nothing scalding hot. Let's take a peek, open the top one. Woo! That looks fantastic. But final check, oh, the cooling's off. Oh my gosh, look at that chicken. Now, a little bit of the butter on top and some of the seasonings burnt, but the chicken itself did not. Let's look in the back. Is there a mess? Negative. No splattering, no grease, no nothing. So that con that I was worried about is not a factor. And I will show you how to make this chicken in another video. Go check it out. Perfectly cooked. I mean, just absolutely perfectly cooked. The juices in this are insane. Look how good that chicken leg looks. Oh my gosh, and just juicy. Incredible. All in the one air fryer.